Welcome back to Catching It with Katie. So today we have a fun guest. This guest did not know she was going to be on the podcast. We just threw her in. We said, you know what? You're here. We did not give you any heads up, but we're going to talk and we're going to chit chat. Now, the last few episodes, we really do just chit chat. Like we get off on tangents a little bit. But let me give you a little, I don't know, background.
Synopsis.
A rundown.
Dani. Yeah. So Dani, if you've been around since like the Instagram only day, like the 2018 Instagram days, then you might
2020-ish.
Then you might remember Dani quite a bit. So she's Canadian.
I am a foreigner.
Didn't mean to out you.
We're not good in the books right now.
So Dani used to come and hang out quite a bit and would just like live at my house for weeks on end.
Weeks to like a month.
And then when you came for my wedding, is when I like dropped her off at a jujitsu place because she couldn't go 5 minutes without it. And she met her husband.
Yeah. And then now I live here and
we see each other less.
Yeah. I was actually just joking with Jonathan that I was like, dang, I remember Katie saying to me, she was like, you're going to move to Nashville and you're going to meet someone and you're going to get married and then we're going to work together. And I'm like, how did she do that?
I just will everything.
How did she do that?
I just will everything into existence. But yeah, a lot of you have asked to see a little bit more of like the behind the scenes and meet the people that keep everything going. Because like we are putting out quite a bit of content per week. And that takes a lot of managing, not just putting the actual content out, but managing the comments and the DMs and the editing and just so much. And so Dani has been doing so much of the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and just so many behind the scenes working parts, which is awesome because then I don't have to meet new people. I just hire the people I know. And it's really helped so much. And so really it's a cool thing that you are doing that because you don't only know social media really well, but she's also got a horse background. So the way we met was I didn't buy, Mommy and Daddy bought Kalvin, which I would say is my heart horse, like my favorite show partner, long-term show partner in 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
2013, 2014?
Yeah, it would have been that year.
And so she actually flew from Canada to Nashville because I got Kalvin and was like, I don't know how to ride this horse.
He was an interesting guy. I had him for 8 years, so I got to learn all of his little buttons.
He was quirky.
He was very quirky. Very, very cool horse, super talented horse, but you definitely had to know how to ride him. And in our industry, he's the type of horse that keeps you honest.
Right.
So that means if you don't ask exactly perfectly for him to do something, but he'll rat on you.
In his old age, he got a lot more forgiving.
Yeah.
In some ways.
He's like, I'm tired.
You had to prep him right.
Yeah.
But like in the show pen, he did get to the point where he was a little bit more forgiving, like in his lead changes. Like if I was like a smidge off on my timing, like he would kind of save me in some areas.
He's like, I got you.
But the places where like he wouldn't is
the
like
equitation
the
on
pole,
the rail.
Equitation on the rail, he screwed me almost every big show.
Ditto,
like,
same.
Screwed me. Like I'd have a killer pattern, get to the rail. Mind you, this thing's like I remember at the Congress when we were third in the EC, he was, I'm just going to like throw that in there. When we were like third in the amateur EC
third
at the Congress,
neck. I don't know.
We get to the rail. It's cold. It's October.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, I've been riding you all day. How are you up like this? They took my spurs off right before I'm like trotting in. Cause they were like, no, like just don't touch him. Just hang on. Cause he was like, ee! And like
this stupid squeal.
he was
ball up and squeal.
I'm like, you're 20 years old. Chill. And so very quirky guy. Yeah. And so she won the Congress with him. Yeah. You also are a reserve world champion in the hunter saddle.
Yeah.
You've been a finalist in the EC at the World Show, at the Congress, in the horsemanship. Like, you're absolutely just kind of
I was going to say, you remember my credentials better than I do now.
Well,
I remember like the highlights. That's it.
You know.
Like the big highlights.
So she's a more credible horse than I am at this point. But yeah, it
Just more
it
shiny
definitely makes
trophies.
it. It definitely helps though, like having that background and stuff with my socials. And so it just takes a lot of moving parts, which kind of, we were talking about this earlier, is that, a big part of social media is the comments and the community. And I 1000% am on the side that I wish everyone would be nice in the comments.
Yeah.
I wish everyone would chill out. Be a normal guy. Don't hate on stuff.
Just
don't
be normal.
Just be normal.
Yeah.
Just don't go on someone's page that you don't know and harass them. Don't, and so that I just want to put it out there. We like she has people that work underneath her. She helps. We all like pitch in on like whatever platform we're working on like trying to manage those comments.
Yeah.
But we just looked it up at how many comments happen in a month.
Because we do get lots of comments of people being like, you need to police your comment section better. But like, let's look at the reality of this.
Okay. In 1 month, 28 days on one platform, this is on TikTok, 503,000 comments. 503,000 comments in 28 days. And that's just on TikTok. So that's not Instagram. That's not Facebook. That's not YouTube. And now we've added Snapchat, which Snapchat, you can't see everyone's comments, but there's still a management there.
And then you add on Waylon's page. And
yeah.
There's so many comments in total as far as us being
so we
able to police them all.
try really hard to keep it a good place and an educational place where you can ask questions. And we block and we delete and I've added in keywords, and it's just.
That's crazy. That's like 1.5 million, 2 million comments a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my head around.
And I'm paying people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then even on top of paying people, that is something that I take super seriously. So Jonathan sometimes is like, hey, we're trying to watch our show. Can you stop commenting? Because I'm sitting there just because sometimes I don't post things till a little bit later. And so I'm just policing. I'm trying to keep it clean. And so it's rough.
It is rough.
But it does help having such a good team behind it. But as we things just kind of get bigger all the time.
Yeah.
And so, it's more than what we can handle. I don't honestly know how many people I'd have to police all those comments.
And at the end of the day too, we're all human, right? So Katie posts every single day. She posts a minimum of, 8 videos a day or 8 posts a day.
That's just the videos, not the pictures.
Yeah. And so that's a Monday through Sunday, no days off situation. And we're humans. I was laughing because I do jujitsu now and I had this major tournament. Mm-hmm. I was competing on a Wednesday. And I help track the VS Code Red page. And there was just some drama on there. And it happened to happen the one day that I was competing. And I'm like,
and this is where it's just ridiculous because people, I'm like, why would you do that? I posted on Waylon's page because, so we have basically, I would call him a broker.
Yeah.
That we do all of our European contracts through. And he just helps us facilitate those things. And all of High Point works with him. So he manages pretty much all of High Point's European contracts. And so I just took the exact post he had made, put it on Waylon's page.
Yeah.
And I was like, for European contracts, contact, XYZ had David's contact and everything there. I didn't think anything of it. It never in a million years would I have thought that people would bombard that post saying that it's
fake,
scam, all that
Who
good
is
stuff.
this guy?
And it had his email on there. And so I don't know if he got any emails or whatnot, but I made a post, Christy made a post being like, this is legit. You don't know what you're talking about. Please do not make assumptions and say something's fact when it's not. It was.
That happens in my area, seeing the shorts on YouTube. And people are because it's in shorts format. I'm like, this is not Katie. I'm if you click on the name, it will take you to all of her other real videos.
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And, I think a lot of people, it comes from a good place, but that's where social media as a whole gets wild.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people can be way creepy, but like they think they're coming from a good place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Overstepping. It's not even necessarily creepy. It's just overstepping.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
there is creepy, but
there is creepy.
But the overstepping, I think, is what we see the most of.
right.
That can be the most frustrating.
Right.
For our job.
Right. But anyway, so going into the rest of the episode, we do have a prompt that we put up on Facebook. We kind of put out there that we wanted to get a little deeper in this episode, and Abigail has some comments that she's gathered from that. So Abigail, you want to start us off?
We're going deep.
Sure.
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 By the way, that's something Matt started doing, and now we all do it.
Sure.
He's a little quiet over there.
I'm sulking.
He's sulking because-
why are you so quiet, Matt?
Check Snapchat and you'll know. 'Cause it's
I was gonna say,
it was updated.
go on Snapchat, you'll find out.
I forgot to hit record. There was about 20 minutes previous to this of quality conversation you all missed. You'll never get to hear it ever.
No. All the realness is gone.
It's taken from you.
So back to my question. Is there any truth behind the people on here saying that some breeders won't breed to VS Code Red because of the fans with no boundaries?
I'm not, I don't think there's any way for me to say yes or no to that. I don't think there's any way for me to say like, oh, 100% people aren't breeding to him because of this, because I mean, people are still breeding to him.
Yeah.
Like I'm still getting my check. He's still booking mares. People are still breeding to him.
You wouldn't know if somebody just changed their mind.
I wouldn't know that.
You're not seeing
And
anything.
I
in the
also
business
don't
end.
know if, because sometimes, I'm not going to lie, people do like to just jump on like a bandwagon. And so like they'll be like, well, I won't breed to him because of this. And it's like, were you going to breed to him before that?
Yeah.
Like had you actually thought about him and you were going to pay his stud fee before that? Or are you just saying that now?
Saying you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm not going to say that dealing with online comments isn't a deterrent, because it sucks. And like we were just talking, like we wish people would just be normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of want to, this might be off topic. No, it's not off topic.
Do it.
I do want to just put my intentions, I guess, out there with sharing the stallions, sharing the horse shows, sharing Denver's journey, sharing the foaling, all this stuff. I always like to keep a line of education in with the entertainment. And I absolutely adore the AQHA industry, the American Quarter Horse. And you can attest, because you showed in the same things I do, in the all around and the 100 saddle and the pleasure. It's not a spectator sport.
The spectators are the other people competing.
Yeah, like you'll go to the World Show and it'll be like, it was a spectator thing at the Versatility because that's like one of the events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were just watching a regular class at the World Show, which is always a big deal, like these
Huge,
people
yeah.
are incredible riders. They've worked really hard to get there. Maybe like 20 people in the stands.
Yeah.
You know?
Which was so confusing to me coming in, not knowing anything about horse shows and thinking, well, there's no one. Who's watching?
Yeah.
And it's because it's not that fast thing like barrel racing. It's
Yeah.
not, you don't have this slide and spin like reining. You don't have cows in there like cutting. It's not as, I guess, exciting when you don't know what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, up until now on social media, and not until now, I'm not the only person bringing awareness to it on social media.
Right.
But I'm saying up until social media, what awareness was there for it really?
There's kind of like 4-H clubs that might push people up, but those are people that are already into the horse industry, kind of already on that trajectory.
All I
And-
knew was that there was a few horse girls that I went to high school with.
Yeah.
Which was probably not a good marketer.
and
as
I
a
was-
horse girl, that was probably bad for the marketing.
Well, no, I was friends with one of them, and she said, well, I'm a horse girl, I do horse stuff. And that was about all the explanation I got.
Yeah.
And it was enough for me. I'm like, oh, cool.
Right. And like, I just see, I mean, sometimes based on like the numbers that I saw when I was a youth versus when I go to a horse show now. I'm not going to say for
Yeah.
every horse show that numbers are down or, whatever, but with it not being that huge spectator sport, there just needs to be an awareness brought to how amazing these horses are, how fun this can be, what a cool community it can be. And I just want to make the how to get into it more accessible. What that looks like, what the behind the scenes of showing, the
Right.
journey of getting back to the show pen. Me and Aaron have talked about like breaking down the pleasure horse in a video, you know, like the mechanics of it and like the athleticism behind it and debunking some things people think about it. And I hope people see that with the social media presence, there's going to be crazies. But I really hope they see the positives that I'm hoping really comes from it. And like, I'm not going to defend those people because I don't condone harassing someone on their page or like, you know, being argumentative and being whatever on social media. And I've never condoned that. So like, I don't really know what to do about it. Like, I mean, like I said, we're trying to block and police comments, but it gets to be so much. And so I just hope people see that like with breeding to VS Code Red, breeding to or first things first, it's like, you can choose what you want to do. Breed to them, don't breed to them. I don't care. That's fine. I think they're phenomenal animals. So I will continue breeding to them. I will continue to stand them. But like, you know, let's say you have one of their babies. Generally speaking, there's a lot more there's a lot more silent people than there are like the loud people watching. And usually the silent people are like more positive. Like the loud people are usually the more negative. And I would just, if you do choose to go that route, I would just say block people. Like social media has so many positives. I would say the biggest negative is the ability to freely say whatever you want with like zero repercussions. And I think people take that too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of, it's been said 1,000 times, but yeah, people seem to be very confident behind a keyboard, saying things that they would never say in real life to somebody.
And to me, like, it really is a passion project of mine to bring more awareness to AQHA, the quarter horse, and getting more people at those shows, because not even showing, but making it a spectator sport.
Yeah.
And making it interesting to where people know what they're looking at. Because sometimes those slow classes, they're not interesting unless you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And
Can
so
confirm.
if you make it a spectator sport, if you get people being like, I want to watch that horse because I follow that one on social media.
Even the trainers being like, oh, so-and-so showing today.
Then it's like, okay, those people that are coming to your horse show, they're buying parking. They're buying food. They're supporting the vendors. They're, you know, they're supporting the horse show in itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way those horse shows continue are by those people.
Yeah.
And if not, your entry fees are going to get higher. Having horses is going to become even less attainable than it is now.
Yeah.
You've got to have the people that aren't even showing being involved too.
Right.
So I don't know. You know, I'm not going to say it's a perfect plan, and I'm not going to say there's not bumps along the way, but I mean, that's where my heart is.
And I think you're doing a very good job of doing this, because you're not only, you know, you're targeting the people that have never been involved in the horse world at all to any degree, and you're getting them interested in horses in general, as well as into AQHA. But the other thing that I think you've done that's been like an age-old problem with, you know, any horse industry is the other breeds and the other horse industries like to rip on each other.
They do.
They love to do it. And so, and a lot of it comes from just ignorance. They don't know, oh, that horse is supposed to move that way. Oh, they're actually bred to do that. That, you know, so I think you've done a very good job of educating in that world to, you know, not only just non-horse people, but.
And I appreciate that. And going into like getting back into the industry, getting back into showing Denver, getting back into being at the horse shows, I would love to include more professionals in on these talks, in on, you know, writing videos, in on whatever, because I don't know everything. Like I would love to just put out there, like, I want to make the awareness of the industry more, but like, I don't want it just to be me. I want to include people in on it. So like, I'm really excited to start things with like Aaron, but then even past that, even other trainers and other riders and do some really cool stuff once we get to the shows. Yeah. So that hasn't happened yet, but I think it's gonna be cool.
Because it's not always a right versus wrong. It's also like opinion and you know, everyone's got different strategies, different techniques. Right. I think that'd be so cool.
Well, I look forward to doing that. Hopefully this year can kick it off. Right. Is there some other prompts?
Well, I think I felt some of the little excitement about like following a trainer
Yeah.
because, you know, I was just at home the other day on YouTube watching a video titled "What is Western Pleasure" from 12 years ago or 10. It was a long time ago.
Interesting.
And I'm watching it, and all of a sudden I go, "That's Aaron."
Yeah.
And I
Oh, no
recognized him
way.
and I saw him, and so I think, you know, maybe seeing a trainer that you kind of follow and then seeing them
Right.
out there, like I felt a little bit of that excitement from a video 8 years ago. So I could see that.
Right.
Ready to go see my good buddy again. I'm so ready to film that video with him.
Your best friend.
Yeah,
Aaron called him buddy one time.
I'll never forget.
All right.
Here's Abigail with the next question.
All right. Okay. Very popular topic in the comments. Do you want to address Phin and everything that happened over the weekend?
So this will be posted later, which is why I will talk about it. I'm not going to, like, as of today's Tuesday, I want to make sure he's where I'm sending him before, like, I put it out there. So Phin is a 2-year-old that I bred, obviously 2 years ago. And he... Math. So he's out of Beyonce by VS Goodride. And he was one of the yearlings that we went to Oklahoma last year, watched him sell in the NSBA yearling sale, which can be, the NSBA yearling sale can be an extremely good tool for breeders. It sets your horses up to have lots of opportunities in the future because they're eligible for like these futurities and things like that. So let me just preface, he had changed hands from the person who bought him from the sale.
Mm-hmm.
And that was due to the fact that, and just like I'd put this out there at one point, like I have no problem if someone sells a horse they bought from me. Sometimes that just doesn't work. You sold Kalvin.
I was going to say selling horses in our industry is very, very normal. And a horse will have 4, 5, 6 owners throughout their lifetime because, you know, you have people that get in and out of the industry. Like it's so
they
common.
outgrow it with their abilities. They
enjoy maybe only showing a 3-year-old.
Right.
Like they like doing those types of events. And
or like the horse that they bought as a young one just didn't fit them.
I sold Kalvin because I literally physically outgrew him. Like I was too big.
Like she's tall. She's
Like
taller
very
than I am.
tall. Yeah. So
And so I have no problem with someone selling a horse. I really don't. And so when people were tagging me that he was in this sale, I was like, I mean, he looks great. Like the video of him looked fantastic. He was sound, healthy, gorgeous. He hadn't been started under saddle yet. And I had people obviously being like, heck yeah, he looks great. But then a lot of people were like, save him. Go buy him, save him. And I'm like, I'm not going to save him. He doesn't need saving. The sale barn, while it's not as fancy as like the yearling sale we were at, it's a fine sale barn. It had like really good using horses in it. It had like a couple of like older show horses in it. And so I had like kept track of it. I was like, oh, I'll watch it or I'll like, you know, see what he goes for. And like, obviously I want to keep track of my babies and I try very hard. And honestly, the only people that I don't have their contact information is those 2 that I sold in that yearling sale. But I knew the trainers who they had gone to. And so that day I saw that he sold for $19,900. And I was like, fantastic. Great. Right? So then later that night, I like was scrolling Facebook and someone had shared where the person who bought him decided not to pay, or they said they couldn't pay, which that's not something that's not something I've seen a lot, because every auction that I've been a part of, you have to like, when you like register, you have to give a check or you have to give a credit card information or you have to give some sort of payment info.
it's kind of like pre-qualifying for a mortgage.
Yeah. And that's the kind of auctions I've been a part of. You have to prove that you could actually bid, right? And I guess that wasn't a qualification for this auction. And so they bid it up to $19,900 and then couldn't pay, which I'm not going to get into the details because I'm not going to get into talking negatively about the seller. I'm not gonna, because there was lots of words exchanged, trying to figure out a solution. So because the people couldn't pay, the auction house was obligated to pay that $19,900 out to the seller.
Yeah.
Technically, you can no sale a horse, and then you'd have to pay like the 10% to the auction house, but you didn't have to like,
Right.
you know, enforce that. Well, I guess there was I don't know all the details, but they were going to enforce it. They said, no, we're getting this, whatever. And I was like, okay, trying to figure out, because at this point I had heard, okay, well, if we can't get the money here, I'm going to raffle him off, or I'm going to send him to,
I don't know
What
what
is
that
New
is.
Holland?
which, let's blur out the name that I just said, but you can keep that. Just
Okay.
blur out the name, which is like this. Let me say, I was fine with the sale he was in this time. I'm not fine with the sale that he was going to be sent to.
Yeah.
That was not somewhere I was going to let one of my babies end up.
Yeah.
And so I racked my brain. I talked to people. I tried to figure out a solution, because if he was sold in that sale, I had no problem with it. What I did have a problem with was where they were sending him next, because the people failed to pay.
Right.
I don't know the motives behind running his sale price up. I don't know if it was people trying to save him and
Yeah.
then being irresponsible. I don't know if it was an accident. I don't know if it was people being malicious and trying to sabotage. I don't know. But I bought him. I bought him back.
Yeah.
And so I had to buy him at that price. There could have been other solutions that people were not really working with me on, but I had to buy him at that price. And I already knew someone that loved Phin from like the very beginning. And I was like, hey, I will facilitate you getting this horse. Obviously, if anything changes, like I would like to be the first buyback.
Right.
But like I would love for you to have him in your program and whatever. And so I facilitated that. And now he is going to like the best place ever, on my dime. So love that for him. I could have, like, if I had suspected anything wrong prior, I could have gotten him a whole lot lower if people hadn't decided to run up the bid and then
Right.
skimp out on it. But yeah, that was very unfortunate. And I, obviously did not want to have to buy him back. But at the same time, I was not going to be able to sleep without knowing where he went.
Right.
And like, had he gone to someone from that sale for a good price and like, gone to bit like I said, like I had no problem with the sale he was in prior, but like I couldn't stand him being just raffled off or him being at the next place. So yeah, he'll be good now. He's good. He's Gucci now.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's set.
Yeah, he's set now. But yeah, I will always stand by my babies and make sure they're in a good place if I have anything to say about it,
Yeah.
So for future auctions and things like that, like what's kind of
Don't take someone selling a horse as them being in trouble,
Yeah.
no.
like ever, or like that something's wrong with them, or that like
Sometimes they sell the horse because the horse is great and doing well. And they
Yeah.
can turn a profit off of it. It's
Yes.
an industry.
It's not-
at the end of the day.
it's not a dog. It's not a house pet.
No.
Now, I'm not saying that to say they need to just be discarded.
No.
Obviously not, or I wouldn't have bought him back. But yeah, I think that was one of those cases of people just absolutely overstepping bounds and not realizing that this isn't just social media and funny videos and cute stuff. It's a business, and it's real life animals, and it's real life decision making. And I've seen a lot of people on comments being like, are you going to address this? I'm like, how about you let me handle business first? How about you let me get this horse out of the situation you put him in, and then I'll might say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think there's things that don't go on behind social media's back? Sorry, I'm getting a little heated on this because it makes me so angry that I had to do that for him.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So yeah, Finn's fine. Finn's fine now.
I think you did the right thing, but you did something that not many people could do.
And again, it's a double-sided sword because social media allowed me to do that for him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it probably caused me to have to do that for him. So anyway, it's always a learning experience. I think, let me preface this. I think the NSBA sale, I think the Super Sire sale, I think all those yearling sales and whatever at the Congress and the NSBA, I think those are fantastic.
Oh, amazing sales.
I think they give horses a really good leg up. They give them more access to being in different futurities. They get them seen to upstanding individuals, to upstanding horsemen.
And you can't just put a horse in those sales. Like, you have to qualify.
They are fantastic sales. I don't regret putting horses in those sales because like I'm very happy where Petey went, very happy where Piper went, you know, like I was happy where Phin went. It, you know, and I know that he was, when he changed hands, he was told, oh, we're buying Phin for a client. And then he got put into a sale. So don't blame that at all. But I don't want to ever demonize selling a horse ever, or putting your horse in a sale ever. They can be fantastic. I do think.
And it can be a positive thing. It can be being done for very positive reasons
Right.
most of the time.
But I do think in my specific situation with social media, I do think I will probably only be doing personal sales from here on out so that I keep that contact, I keep that contract, the, you know, first right of refusal, thing like that. I just think in my personal situation, I'm going to have to do that. But like, by saying that, I just want to go ahead and say like, absolutely don't discount those sales because they can be amazing. And, you know, I wish my situation allowed me to use them in the future, but I don't think I can after this situation just because I didn't have the contact that I had before with private sales. But yeah, Finn's fine. He's good. I look forward to seeing his future. I really do.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me three.
I remember old guy.
Yeah. He was a little bit of a turd, honestly. But anyway, is there any other topics?
Let's go deep.
Now on to the deep question.
Oh, that wasn't even deep.
We're not even
That
there
wasn't even
yet.
deep. I
We
feel
were
like
in
y'all
the
saw me
shallow
getting.
end.
Would you ever go on Dancing with the Stars?
Oh dear Jesus!
Would you?
No.
You wouldn't
Are
really.
you serious?
If you had the opportunity right
If
now.
they
you
called me today and it was a legitimate
Yes.
offer,
wouldn't. Really?
Oh,
Nate would.
I could have called that one.
I couldn't
You
say
wouldn't
yes
go
fast
just
enough.
bad publicity is still publicity.
okay, but videos of me dancing horrifically last forever on the internet.
When Katie was 21, I had to teach her how to like dance like simple.
Like
to a beat, you know,
like she took me to the bar and I was just like,
like hands by her sides, like deer in the headlights.
I don't know
like
what
a
to do.
Stonehenge.
Like Jonathan, and there's just something about it, like a carelessness I don't have in my body.
No, just purposefulness.
I just don't have it in my body, and so no, absolutely not. Would you?
Yes.
You would,
Nate
wouldn't
takes
even
every
blink.
opportunity.
Abigail? Would
course.
you?
If Dancing with the Stars called,
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
oh, they
I would
can't
do
hear
it for
you.
the outfits and the outfits only if I,
I was
ever
gonna
did
say
it.
the outfits are so
can't hear her.
cool.
She needs the mic.
Oh yeah.
You could just move it over here every time I need to talk. That'd be great. Yes, I would.
Everybody wants you and Nate to make a song album together.
Me?
And since this is on the serious topics, then it's got to be for real.
Well,
Who? Me and Katie?
You and Katie.
okay, I'm not gonna say with who. I actually had to cancel a dinner meeting tonight because of Happy. Happy's acting like she's close. If she hasn't had it by this video, that's embarrassing.
Well, there we go.
But she, I had to cancel my dinner meeting tonight with someone in the music industry.
Ooh.
Not saying anything's gonna come out of it, but just talking about like I've loved music forever. I've loved singing forever. And I would never in a million years want to be a singer. I'm not built for that life. But with the social media already being there, with, you know, maybe like one thing a year or something like that, maybe like doing an EP.
That'd be cool.
EP is like a, what is that short for?
I believe it means extended play.
Okay.
So
I don't know how that translates to 3 to 5
that's
songs.
right?
I have a funny thing about Katie. So when Katie was 16, obviously I heard her sing, and this is before social media. This is before she has like any followers. I think you had just started posting on Vine, maybe. So she went
Vine?
She went Vine famous for a very short
I had
period of time,
20,000 Vine followers,
which was huge.
it's huge.
I remember telling Katie, and I fully believed this. Like, and I'm like, I wasn't that wrong, but I was like, you are going to be famous. You are going to be a famous singer. Just waiting on the time for it to happen.
I wish I had friends like Dani.
She had this friend for a minute that I would just flirt with because like I would practice flirting on him. His name was Brett. Hi, Brett.
Shout out, Brett.
Shout out, Brett.
Hi, Brett.
And I remember being in my dorm room thinking I was so cool because he'd be like, sing on Zoom, and I would sing to him over Zoom. Oh, it's so disgusting. It was so
Sing.
embarrassing.
Sing, my angel of music.
Sing.
And I thought I was so special. Like, I was so insufferable.
I can see that. Okay.
I loved it. Though.
What did you sing?
It's because y'all were
Red?
hyping me up.
Did you sing Seminole Wind or OldRed?
No,
Whenever he said to sing.
we had a different repertoire back then.
Yeah, I could just imagine he'd be like, sing. He'd be like, so blow, blow.
If you didn't know, Seminole Wind and Old Red by Blake Shelton are my go-tos.
Yeah.
Just imagine Old Red.
No, I
Red'll have you
I had
treat till
better
the
songs.
morning comes.
You do really good Dolly Parton too.
had
Yes, you do.
different ones last
Yes, you do.
like 10 years ago.
I will
Actually,
say
Jolene
this.
was one.
It
of
was
your-
10 years ago.
Welcome.
Ugh.
A decade ago.
How's it feel?
Ew.
But no, I've always been Katie's number one hype man.
You have.
I've like always known.
See, here's
she was
the thing.
Gonna do great things.
So like you and Rebecca have been like my longtime best friends.
yeah,
She's not my hype man.
Rebecca's like, hey, that's kind of embarrassing. You
Rebecca's
shouldn't do
my come back down to earth man.
Yeah.
You're the hype man. She's the you're not that special. She's that man. Now, when I'm like really needing her, she'll be my hype man. But like
Yeah.
in everyday life, she's like, you're not that cool.
Yeah.
And everyone needs that, you know?
And you float right in the middle. Right between them.
You gotta have that balance.
But back to the question.
Back what was the question?
That was the
that.
question.
If you guys are gonna produce a
Question was if we're doing.
Oh
the
yeah,
thing or
bringing you
not.
back into this.
Yeah.
Katie's like, the answer is no. I'm doing it on my own.
I noticed we just dodged it a little bit, and I'm gonna bring us back.
Just right past you.
I think it'd be hilarious, fun. I think it'd be a good I lost words experience.
Action packed.
Because
I feel like these are like a critic reviewing a movie.
I say hilarious and fun because imagine me and you having creative differences.
I can't
we
imagine
should
you
do
two
it.
having creative differences at all. I can't imagine you two going into a room and thinking that something should be done one way or the other. I feel like you would go in there and in 5 minutes put something together.
I agree.
That was sarcasm.
You think?
No, that was complete sarcasm.
Okay.
No, I think it would. It wasn't for me. I actually think that's how it would go.
Yeah.
I think you would be very surprised.
The only reason I might agree is because on the days where it's just me and Nate filming, which is kind of rare, we get Justin, bleep, we done.
Yeah, big time. Like we're locked. It's almost like we enter this alternate wave.
We'll do 3 videos. We'll knock them out. We'll be like,
Dang.
you know what we could do? We could do another one. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. No, the level of productivity. The level of productivity. If we add one of them, it's ruined.
Should me and Matt just head out?
if we,
For the
if we-
day.
if we just add one other person.
If we add one other person, no matter who it is, ruined.
But when it's just you and me, it's like flow,
Maybe it's because we don't. Maybe we don't like each other, so we just work.
flow state. Whatever gets you there.
I'm just. I do like you, Nate.
Yeah, I like you too.
But we do.
And I think if we did do a song together, I think it would go exactly the same.
Maybe.
I think it would.
Now, we've not really jammed together that much.
We haven't.
Like, other than the funny harmonizing every now and then.
We've never like actually jammed together or even tried to write
You
anything.
sang at my birthday party a couple years ago.
Yeah, I did.
And then
Are you
skipped
gonna
all the
sing
rest.
last year?
I would.
And then skipped all the rest of them. Y'all came last year, but you had very pregnant wives and
True.
had to leave early.
Fair.
You're not getting that out this year.
No.
I mean,
I'm
you
not
do have
going.
infants, but you're not getting that out. We're having crawfish and shrimp boil,
Yummy, yummy.
What's the
and there
theme?
will be the theme
Fantasy.
Fantasy theme?
nights around the round table.
Listen, we just want to see you show up in a Gandalf suit.
I
to a regular
I
party.
wanted suit of armor in June,
Oh, yeah, that would be good too.
Dang.
That is happening.
except that'll be right after the Ren Fair. You're gonna be like,
Kid it out.
yeah.
I just want to see you come.
Are you gonna join us for the Ren Fair this year?
Can we
I
actually,
actually
do
would
the
should.
love to come to the Ren Fair.
We dress up.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone just keeps talking.
That's okay. Go.
I'll just stop. Every time I start to say something, I have to
Okay, everybody.
go up to the mic, and then by
Get
the time
closer.
I get there, a different conversation is happening. So
No one's hearing anything you just said.
that's
Well,
fine.
it's not because you're in it. You got to talk in it. Justin yelled at us.
I don't know what I was saying. So
Oh yeah, the theme.
But yeah, I think it would be.
The theme of the party.
I think it'd be cool because you have this like Kojo essence about your voice too. I think our voices would mesh well together. We really haven't
I
put
think
that
so,
to the
too.
test.
Let's do it.
We might have to.
You'll just have to wait. and
Next
find
on.
it.
Abigail?
If something ever unexpected happened to either Abigail, Matt, or Nate, and they had to leave, how would you feel about having to replace them?
I guess we're getting deep.
Let's go
Jeez.
deep.
So are we talking like y'all?
Well, it sounds like Nate's pretty irreplaceable, but everybody else would have a pretty easy.
So like,
time.
are y'all like y'all died or
We just had to leave.
you had to leave?
Yeah, maybe leave.
Are we on good terms?
Good terms. Yeah, good
Good terms.
terms. It's a sad goodbye. It's a sad goodbye.
You know,
already.
I don't. It's such a hard thing to replace, not just like your skill abilities, but like you don't want to just go travel for 5 days with just anybody.
Yeah.
You don't want to go spend a few nights away from home with just anybody. You don't, and it's. I don't know how you replace that. That'd be really difficult. I mean, it takes time, and that'd be hard.
the question was, how would you feel about having to replace us? Would you be?
That would suck.
Okay.
That would suck really bad.
Can we do a spin-off question?
I don't want to. Okay, your spin-off question.
Okay, this one's more fun. Okay, you're on a desert island.
Jesus,
All three
okay.
of them are there. You have to eat one of.
That scared me.
The light.
All
Carry
good.
on.
It's a janky room. Right.
Okay, spin-off question for you. You're on a desert island. All three of them are there. You have to eat one person. Who do you eat? Both on. You no longer have that person as an asset, and taste-wise.
Think about it.
Do we leave this in?
We can go spicy or mild.
We could cut before I go taste.
I have an answer. My answer would be Nate, because I feel like he's like the healthiest
Yeah.
of all of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like it'd be like some good, like lean
Clean.
protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very little microplastics.
But you'd have to take him
Yeah,
down.
very little. I actually am conscious about
You'd
it.
have to take him down.
Also the easiest to take down.
If I had to eat anybody.
This is why I haven't been invited on the show yet.
This is why you should be on it more often. 'Cause
I don't think I like this question.
this is the deep stuff. This is I don't know. I don't know who I would eat. I feel like it would have to be more on an emotional level, like who I least emotionally connected with.
I was about to say, honestly, like if
I would-
we're on a desert island, like who's not
Yeah.
participating
You
and
have to
pulling their weight.
survive. You have to
So
survive.
who's the dead end? Who's the
In most
dead
things,
weight?
I'm a maximum participant. In
I
most
kind of was
all
thinking
things.
that. I was like, I don't.
Although
think I would just
the
wait.
tastiness level, the
I pick your poison.
yeah.
I'm not answering this. Oh, no.
No, we know who the favorite is.
Matt, who's the favorite
Nate.
of me?
I don't think I'm the favorite. I think
You literally have everything but a record deal signed with Katie right now.
Clearly me.
it's Dale.
There's no question.
I mean,
Between the three of us,
You're the favorite.
it's me.
no offense, but like, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, none taken. I know.
No, yeah.
I know my
like,
place.
Dale's the favorite of the three because she's my daughter.
I'm well aware of the favoritism.
Would you rather be her daughter or her sister?
Sister. I don't know. I feel like
it'd be fun to be your child.
I would get you a pony.
Yeah, like I think it would be a really
know
fun
it.
life. I feel like you'd be a really nice mom. You'd be a good mom to a teenager, which I know you don't think you would be, but I do. I do think you would be.
We'd have to grow together for me to be nice to it as a teenager. Like I'm kind of like, like I think I'd like it until like 5. Then they start getting a little mouthy.
Yes.
And then it's like, let's bring it back at like 21.
Yeah.
That
You know?
big of a gap.
That's a long run. I feel like it's like 11 or 12. They start to be nice.
No, then they hit puberty.
No, that's where you're the negative zone is like 11 to 12 to 21. Nice
Oh,
decade.
okay,
of
okay.
Not fun.
I don't know.
I think I might have gotten mouthy early. Yeah.
But you could show horses together. You do the little walk trot. It's so cute.
I'm very excited to have children, okay? Not gonna lie. But like thinking about just jumping in at like 12.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Like I'm gonna need like 12 years of love to get
You
me
need to
through
Yeah,
that.
you'd-
you
you
need
know?
to build to that.
Yeah.
Take us to the deep.
Also, I don't think Nate would be spicy.
I don't think I would be spicy. I think
feel like-
I would almost just taste like water.
I think as far as like,
Really bland.
Yeah.
Bland.
I feel like Abigail would be like food-wise good.
Probably pretty tasty, yeah.
She would taste like, what is it that you're doing right now? Frozen
Those
banana?
would be delicious.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? You taste like frozen banana right now?
I would just taste sad. Just tastes like a little, like didn't quite meet his potential.
Like,
Oh my god.
I don't know if he had a good day.
Are we gonna get flagged for cannibalism?
Only one way to find
I'll
out.
just take it out of the captions. It all comes back around.
That's right. All right, hit us.
A lot of them you answered, like a lot of them were about one or two particular questions. But and some of them are just like, how do you get your teeth so white? So it's like we're just on two different spectrums.
I don't know if that's very deep. I think it's because I don't drink dark liquids.
Yeah, Katie's not a coffee or tea person.
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think genetics has a lot to do with it.
Non-smoker. Yeah, you don't do any of the things that would make your teeth.
Just kind of a saint. Okay, so we're going to end off today by reacting to some videos. So if you don't know, we have an email address. We will put that below, where if you have any funny videos of your own animals that you want to share, unfortunately, we can't share all of them, but we will pull from and share with y'all. So this first one is from Michaela. It says, "Hi, my name is Michaela, and I'm from Pilot Point, Texas." Hey, girl. That's where High Point is. Says, "These videos are of my mini donkey, Rip. He loves playing with pillows and enjoys throwing them around." Okay.
I wonder if this is the donkey that I sent you.
I have tried forever to get my donkeys to play with stuff, and they just don't. They're not fun like Rip.
A rib.
He's having a great time. I wish my donkeys were that fun. He loves it. Maybe it's the boy donkey thing. I think it's a boy donkey thing.
It is.
Because you've got all the boys, and they're so fun. Yours carried a pillow around.
Yeah, they throw that thing all
What is he
around.
doing?
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
We just bought a rubber chicken. They haven't figured it out yet.
That's funny. Thank you for sending that, Michaela.
Michaela and Rip.
Rip's cool.
Did Rip. Good guy. Good guy. Sweet.
Okay, this next one is from Britta. You there?
Oh, I thought you were like on the phone. Like, you there? Like,
No, I thought you might like.
Yeah,
do y'all have? Okay,
I'm there.
This next one's from Britta. It says, "This is my pig. My 13-year-old daughter won from a greased pig competition. We signed our 2 daughters up for fun, not knowing the pig was the prize." That's such a me thing to do. Like I want to win a greased pig. And now you're stuck with it, and now you love it, and you care for it, and you have to spend your time sending it hay and food. And that is so funny that he's got this little house and this little pen, all because he was a greased pig.
What kind of pig is that?
Cute colors.
You know, if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you, because I watch these livestock judging videos, and I see these on there. Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, we're romping in the hay.
Do I need pigs?
I was gonna say,
Do I need pigs?
Can I have a pig like that? With the long tail?
that run around and think they're so fun?
That is a fun pig.
I'm not saying
That's one fun pig.
I'm not
That's a cute
saying
pig.
that we will do it soon, but pigs might come back into my life at some point. Okay.
It's a soccer
Just not
pig,
Winston
too.
pigs. Like
Just
that-
not Winston.
Dude, Winston. Somebody had like, what was your least favorite animal? And I did say Winston. And that's a hot take, and I know that, but Winston just doesn't do it for me like he does
You
everybody
know
else.
Winston's name, though, and you don't know any of the other animals' names.
True.
Okay. You were around for the beginning of Winston.
I was around for the beginning of Winston.
He turned 10 a couple weeks ago.
Kids, you used to take him to horse shows.
He was little bitty.
Yeah.
I saw those videos and I was my jaw dropped.
I have a picture with me and Winston and Calvin at a horse show.
He was like smaller than a puppy.
so tiny.
He was tiny.
There's no, like, you can see how I was bamboozled.
And listen, at the time, everyone in hindsight, they're like, there's no micro pigs. Okay, at the time,
That was the craze.
to our knowledge as a generation, they were very real.
Now we know micro or like mini pigs just means below 400 pounds. Oh, shoot. We didn't know
That's
that back then.
crazy.
Okay, and this last one's from Heidi. It says, went to catch my horse and all the chickens started following. Is this going to be Abigail?
This is me.
This is going to be Abigail. She wants her little chicken farm. Oh my gosh.
I am the professional chicken whisperer.
I wasn't expecting that many chickens.
That's so
That was
many
so
chickens.
many chickens.
That's so many chickens. So is that how many you want, Abigail?
Maybe, yeah.
You just want an army?
Yeah, I think I'd be good with like a small little chicken army.
There's got to be like 70, 80 chickens there, right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I bet there's more. I bet there's over
My
100.
gosh. That's amazing.
Look at them. They're out even further in the field.
Yeah.
You know, so Rebecca's getting into chickens.
Yeah.
She's getting some chickens. I don't support it because I hate chickens,
I
to
love
be
chickens.
honest.
Is she an egg eater? Is that why?
Yeah, and I think the girls wanted them. Like she's at that age where like I'll get chickens one day if my kids want
Yeah,
them.
because they're great for kids to learn how to take care of animals.
But anyway, that's hilarious. Abigail wants to, but I thought you wanted ducks.
I want both
Okay.
eventually.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot of deep and funny, and you know, I got a little angry there for a minute when I was talking. But
I think
you know,
it was good.
it was good.
It was good.
Healthy.
It was emotional
healthy.
release. You know?
Healthy.
It was human.
It was human.
It was human.
How human.
Emotions.
Katie's
But
just
yeah.
like everybody else. She's just like us.
Jesus. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, if you have not known that we're doing Snapchat behind the scenes, go check that out. We'll link my Snapchat below kind of throughout the day. If we're doing videos, there's some clips that just don't make it in. Sometimes funny things happen that don't really have a purpose anywhere else, so they end up on Snapchat. So go follow there.
You can see why we're all mad at Matt.
Yeah, today he was sitting in the corner sulking.
I
Also,
have foot wash tonight.
we have way more merch than we've had. We've just added a ton of new things, including First Things First merch. So Denver now has merch for the first time. We have lots of Easter stuff, like Tons. So go check that out at katievanslyke.net. And we will see you in the next one. Let us know what you want us to talk about next week.
Bye.
Nate always gets the last word.
Goodbye, last words.